All right, all right, all right. Okay, okay, okay. What's going on, guys? How y'all feeling tonight? Welcome to day 2 of Boot Camp September edition, the last potential possible boot camp of the year. I welcome you guys today. This is not a coincidence why you are here. You chose to be in the presence of greatness, the presence of abundance amongst brothers and sisters who catch pips together. You know what I'm saying? Who look forward to extending their knowledge in the financial markets. Who here is happy to be in this moment right now? Because the present is a gift. Yesterday is already done and over with. Tomorrow is not promised, but this is something that we anticipate. So remember yesterday, we said, what is your why? Why are you here? Why have you not given up? And I'm not sure if you guys saw that I kind of got a little emotional towards the end of the song. Um, the reason why is when I actually, when this album came out in 2019, I remember I had taken a trip to Texas, and I didn't know what that trip was going to have in store for me. I left a lot of things behind. I told some of my clients I was a personal trainer. You know, if you still see a little bit of this, these traps still looking good in a turtleneck, it's not because I still work out as much as I used to, but you know, in my past life, maybe 4 years ago at this point now, I was a personal trainer, and Paula's like, yeah, you know, something look different about Hans today. Yeah. And so I took a flight to Texas in Dallas, where me and one of my great friends, Manny, he was also he's still a trader. We started trading back in 2016 together. We started the journey together. And so he said, yo, bro, come to my crib. Like, let's really focus on this skill set. And guys, I spent a month and a half in Texas living off of my profits. And day and night, we literally were in this room. If we were not working out, we'd be back in that room just studying, 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 and studying. And I remember that album came out, African Giant, and we are big fans of Burna Boy way before people were like really knowing who this was. And you know, we played the hell out of that album. And I remember, like, I said, if not this, then what? I did not know a couple months afterwards, in March 2020, this sacrifice that I did was literally what helped me survive COVID. Why? Because all jobs were essentially non existent. All jobs ceased and desisted for like months. Some people changed careers. Some people committed suicide. Some people went to Haiti. Some people flew back home to Africa. Some people never made it out of COVID the same. Some people just never existed from that era at all. Some people survived off employment. But listening to this album today and seeing that I'm impacting the lives of multiple people, when back in 2019, I didn't even know what was the purpose of me really leaving Maryland. And I spent months out there, and that was the beginning of my journey. Since then, not to say it's been sweet, not to say it was something that I have not fought over, cried over, got depressed over, saw my biggest payouts, lost friends over, lost sleep over. Until this day, for me to stand up and know that anywhere on God's green earth where there's Wi-Fi and a laptop, and I can decide what my worth is, To know that a young Haitian king, his voice has resonated in rooms and countries that I've never stepped foot in. But I know me and God has walked in that room, because every time I speak, I know I'm speaking through him who strengthens me. To know that I made a sacrifice that has helped me and my family. To know that I've paid for funerals, that I've paid for weddings, that I've paid for rent. I've paid my dues. To know that this sacrifice that I did that day, that year, to know that this sacrifice 2-3 years later gave me the ability to teach multiple people, to be part of conversations where I never thought I'd ever be in, to be able to understand that nothing defines me but me, to understand myself on a deeper level, to have seen the highs, to have seen the lows, to have lost it all and still made it back, to be able to see that my worth is not defined by just the hours of the day of somebody's company, that I don't have, bro, if I ever get fired somewhere, I will never tell that person, please, I'm begging you, can you take me back? No. To have a skill set nobody could take away from me, come on. I would definitely make that sacrifice tenfold till this day. And so as I'm sitting here telling you my testimony, this is me. This is why I stand for what I stand for. This is why I do boot camps. This is why I take my time to give back. I've taught this skill set to people who don't even speak English well. I've taught this skill set to people who never thought that they could even understand what charts and pips and fundamentals and core CPIs. This is me. Through it all. Win or lose it all. Sleepless nights. What do you know about passion? This is a skill set that taught me passion. This is a skill set that had woken me up 3, 4, 5 in the morning as if I'm working for somebody. I'm like, dang, why am I so stressed? I'm working for myself. This is where I've learned the most discipline. This is where I've learned risk management. This is where I've learned to respect money. This is where I've learned that this is the way for me. This is something that I've embraced. This is something that's been a part of me for so long now that it'd be hard for somebody not to call Sir Hans Felix and not think of some charts. Even if I walk away from this industry, maybe one day, I still know I left an impact. Even if I die tomorrow, I know that God will tell me, well done, good and faithful servant. You've impacted lives. And you did not remove me. You did not remove me from the impact that you created. You did it with me and not without me. Thus saith the Lord. So in this moment, guys, if you understand the importance of me being here today, know that it was not easy. I wasn't expecting it to be easy. But trust me, the fruits of my labor, I would not change it for the world. So I don't know what your why is. I've heard a couple of you guys say why you doing what you're doing, but today I wanted to let you know why I do what I do. All right. So with that being said, once again, welcome to boot camp number 2, day 2. We are not playing games out here. This is for the legacy. Somebody say legacy.
Legacy.
Nah, I'm not convinced. Somebody say legacy.
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 Yeah.
Legacy.
I come from a place where I've been ashamed many times when I look on social media and I see how leaders are treating their own people. I come from a place where they would rather not give you the right information just to control you. I come from a place where it's not that we are not the most richest in our hearts, they consider us the poorest in our hemisphere, but they know that we got things that they display in movies. If the world really knew how rich we were, they would be walking and bowing down to the people and the history of which we come from. I come from a place where till this day, me and some of my friends, we have taught our Haitian people how to trade. And they cannot stop thanking us because in a country where all they give them is despair, kidnapping, uncertainty, fear, doubt, we gave them hope. And this is what this skill set has done for me. This is what this skill set has done for many other people. And I hope that this skill set, you take it seriously, as tonight is once again a recommitment to this journey. I hope I impact your life as well. Because before I do my boot camp, I always say, God, just let me impact one person's life. Just one. One at a time, please, because I don't know how my contract is set up there, you know? I don't know if by the time I touch the millionth life and he said, okay, all right now. All right. Go sleep. Go sleep. Okay. So yesterday we had a phenomenal day. A phenomenal day. And I could not have done it without you. So you guys came back here. And so I must have did something right. How did you guys like yesterday? What did you go to sleep thinking about after yesterday? Let me hear you talk. Let me hear the chat. Let me give you guys a few minutes to just give your quick feedback.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
What's up, Hans?
What's up, PJ? Shout out to you, PJ. PJ's been a student of mine since 2021.
Yeah, 2020 July.
Oh, that boy know. That boy knows exactly what date he started with me. And how would you describe your journey, bro? With Marcus Apprentice Academy and my coaching and mentorship?
What I would say from day one is you always made sure I was good with the charts. You always checked up on me. You always answered my text messages. Any question I had answered, you was there. But as a student, I also had to do my part by asking you questions, being intrigued, joining every call you had on Sundays and Wednesdays. And over time, that work that I put in allowed my eyes to open and grow. I got to meet new people. I finally got to meet you in person. And I would say, like, I just became a smarter individual because I started at the age of 17.
How old are you now, PJ?
I'm a 20-year-old young man now. So,
yes, sir. You started learning at 17. I do remember that. It's like, yo,
yes, sir.
I wish I was this man learning this skill set at 17.
Hey, you trying to switch? Access somebody.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just listen. Hold on.
So PJ,
Mm-hmm.
how would you describe your experience yesterday?
Okay, so I wasn't here for that long, but one thing I can say is it really opened my eyes to see how similar I am to everybody in their journey and the things that they go through, I go through, and that I'm not alone on the journey of trading. So, we're all at our different points in trading and stuff like that, but most of the issues we have are very similar. So if we can have someone to talk to about it and open up to, because when you talk to non-traders, they damn near 99% of the time don't understand what you're saying. And the first thing that's gonna come out of their mouth is doubt, or maybe you should just leave or do something else. But I don't need that because we've been here for too long. It's time to get to this money.
That's facts. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
So yeah,
So
that's what I got to say.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's good to have you, bro. Anybody else? How did
This is Wendy.
yesterday? Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey.
Wendy.
Yesterday kind of motivated me and me
Oh
this
man.
energized mindset. I think his name was Lymel. So he gave us some suggestions when we talked about things we could do better. He said some things about support and resistance I had written down. So I woke up this morning intentional, I guess would be the word, and I hit daily goal.
Woo! Hey, drop some fire on the chat for Wendy.
Wait,
She's
wait,
currently
hold
driving
on.
right now.
Let's go. That's what I gotta say.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go. That's what we do this for. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
I was tired. I was I was too tired after that drive and everything. I was like, nah, I ain't doing nothing today.
Absolutely. And since Mel got the mic, Mel, how did you feel about yesterday's boot camp? Day one.
I felt like yesterday was like the final stamp on everything because like I mentioned in the group, I went on this whole psychological journey and just looking more into myself and helping me identify myself more because I wrote down this is summing all up question and Akeem brought it up too. How well are you structured? And I actually said, how well are you structured internally, right? Because it's gonna affect you externally on the markets. And yeah, I learned my technicals and everything was good, but my psychology wasn't on point. And I feel like, coming over there and like the last spot that I came to before I came back to Connecticut was the exclamation mark. And that's pretty much was it. I'm a little sick. So my voice is a little off. But yeah, it was God's plan.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Okay, so thank you for that, bro. So
No problem.
Jaquel, and also thank you for your sacrifices of staying over, bro. Um, I was actually able to just go into the next room and I saw like Lamel leading the break room. Not break room. Should I say that? The breakout room.
Yeah.
I'm Haitian, so this ain't my first language, guys. So so I was able to see you guys engage in conversations, and it was really cool because I'm like, wow, some of y'all are mad quiet when we're all together, but in the breakout room, oh man, y'all was having one heck of a time. I'm like, okay, interesting. So I gathered a lot of data, and so we're not gonna waste too much time. If you guys want to have any type of feedback about yesterday, please put it on the chat. I want to take advantage of all the time that we have tonight because we got a lot to talk about. This ain't just feel good boot camp, ha ha ha. I don't just want y'all to have good dopamine elevated levels, but I want y'all to make sure you have a lot of sustainability skills after this webinar. I also want to say this. A lot of traders that are in this building right now, in this webinar, in this boot camp, they'll tell you, even if you are brand new, intermediate, or advanced, everybody's gonna still have to go through these phases. Sometimes people fall off. Other times, people have lost their edge. So if this is your first time, and I did get some of the feedback from yesterday, and some people felt like, man, maybe I made a mistake of being here and I don't know anything or I know very little. And I wanted you guys to understand something. Isn't it crazy how we can all relate? And I've been in this thing for 8 years, but I can still relate to somebody's day one. So if I started my trading journey with a good foundation like this 3-day boot camp, I probably would have been further because I would have taken some of those lessons along with me. So I know how to structure myself. All right. So, all right, let's go ahead and start. My man said, you want the truth? This man is the truth walking. I like that, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. That's a fact. All right. So I was looking at some of the jot form submissions, and I'm not gonna call out any names. I asked specifically and purposely, what do you still struggle with and need guidance on the charts? Some people said timing of trade execution. Another person said risk management. What else? Consistency. Another consistency. Timing of trade execution. Emotional management. What else? Another person said timing of trade execution. Psychology. Consistency. Risk management. Okay, many timing of trade executions. Okay. And so as we already spoke about certain things, right? I noticed that a lot of you guys have strengths and weaknesses. But I also noticed that many people, whatever you guys are struggling with, it's not that you're not consistent, because you've proven that you are consistent at showing up in front of the charts. You've proven that you are consistent with certain losses that you've been taking. So you are consistent. The goal is to be consistent at trading, but how can you be consistent in a market that is not consistent itself? A lot of you guys said that you're looking to learn how to manage your risk. That's very important. But at the same time, some people have said they want to learn how to control greed. Other people said they're overthinkers and they get analysis paralysis. All this comes from the strengths and weaknesses of who you are. Now, I find that it's not the consistency that you lack, it is the overtrading. I find that sometimes you don't need to know everything. Once you figure out what you know, you have to figure out how to structure what you know. Some of you guys love to learn, which is great. Some of you guys are overthinkers because you feel like your power is to know everything. Did you know one of the most consistent traders in history, all they focused on was one specific strategy? They didn't care what was going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They did not care. As soon as the market opened, they came looking for that one particular setup, right? And every time they saw it, they made money. That's what they considered a consistent strategy for them. So, what is consistency in an inconsistent market? Consistency is when you are consistently making profits that you can withdraw and use for your own benefit. Consistency is being able to profit from a strategy or being able to withdraw consistently from the markets. Because the market, one thing it can guarantee is that you're going to lose, you're going to make losses. So how do you remain consistent? Well, the other outcome is to make wins. And when you make wins, how often do you win? So my question to somebody who's been trading longer than at least 3 months, how often do you guys win? Do you catch yourself winning more with sell trades or buy trades? Do you catch yourself winning more on Mondays and losing on Mondays, or winning more on Tuesdays, talk to me. Where are you at right now? What type of data have you gathered? Because you might be stuck on feeling like you're not consistent when really you just been looking at the wrong lens. You get what I'm saying? So even if you are a brand new trader, please listen to these people or read their messages as they are starting to tell you what or tell us what it is that they've been going through when it comes to the topic of consistency. Let's go ahead and start there. Who wants to actually speak, or let's go ahead and see what your answers are on the chat.
Me, PJ.
Go ahead, PJ.
One thing that I've seen consistently over time as I journal my trades digitally, I tend to win most of my trades on Wednesdays or Thursdays, which tend to be reversal days. And as trading over time, I've realized that my favorite setup is midweek reversals.
Interesting. Midweek reversals. Okay, why is that? Because I know Alice is thinking, what do you mean midweek reversals? Is this something I need to learn again, or is this something I need to add to my strategy? I know some of you guys are already thinking that. Who said
Yes.
that? Who has
Yes.
this Simba voice?
Oh,
Who was that?
I think that was Lymel that spoke. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Oh, you caught me. I was gonna see if somebody's gonna catch me.
Yeah, I figured. Makarov. Go ahead, bro. Zelensky. Was that you? All right.
Love the Wolves.
Okay. Next person. Go ahead. What have you noticed about your consistency or lack thereof? Do you guys prefer buy trades, sell trades? Do you find yourself winning more on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays? Talk to me. Let's not waste time. There's no time for being shy. Act like it was in your break rooms.
I'll go, being I was the first one. Me personally, I'm more consistent with supply and demand, smart money concepts. And also sticking to my rules. I know that when I'm by myself, good mind state, good mental state, physical state, sometimes I'm very consistent in winning trades. Um, it is when I break my rules, is when I don't abide by my rules. Like if I'm up a certain amount for the day and I don't secure partials according to what I see, or if I don't secure anything according to my rules, I wind up losing what I risk plus more. And I realized that. And for me to make that adjustment, I adjusted my risk management and a little deeper understanding of the market and have more respect for the market. And that was basically it.
Well
And
said.
the last part was psychology. And keep on strengthening myself mentally.
Good. Well done. So, what pairs do people mostly trade here in this room? What pairs do you guys mostly trade? Wendy, your signal is not that great.
I think she was probably saying like GU and Nas, probably. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm driving. I apologize. I say US 30 only.
okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll shut up.
Good. Okay, Jaquel said Fridays and sometimes Mondays suck for me sometimes. Wednesday too, but the risk management I believe I can overcome. And it's Nas. Okay. PJ said EU and AU. Okay, good. If I were to say I have been most profitable with in the beginning of the year, it was straight GJ and gold. Spanked them. Then gold started acting weird. So I was like, all right, let me go back to the indices. Spanked the indices, and then they started acting weird. So then I came down and traded EU and UJ. And so now I'm just basically trading UJ, sometimes gold, Sometimes EU, because when it comes down to the setup, this is what I mostly focus on. But I will say I take a lot of losses from US 30 when US 30 is giving multiple wicks, and just like by the time I'm trying to make a decision, trying to figure out should I hold or should I just close the quick profit or the retracement that's going on that now I have to settle for less on. I would say US 30 would be probably like the most challenging pair sometimes, where I take the most losses. And this is me being transparent. So anybody else? Anybody else? Going once, going twice.
Can I participate? Is that okay?
Of course, bro. Of course. By the way, this is my buddy, my guy Hubert. He is one of my collaborators and very, very gifted educator at PSL, which is our Creole, Haitian Creole Academy, where we teach people how to trade in Haitian Creole. So for those of you guys who might be interested in following a course in Creole, we got that for you. All right. And we have a phenomenal course as well. And he's a phenomenal trader. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you, Hans. Thank you. I appreciate that. I say that what I found this year has been my most consistent year ever since I've been trading. And it's because of sticking to my rules. So when I wake up in the morning, I go straight to my rules. I literally have my rules on my board and I stand in front of that rule and read it. And it goes by, I don't trade on Mondays. Well, not really. My trading week start on Mondays at 11 a.m. and then it ends on Friday at 10 a.m. So I only trade AU and US 30. And shout out to you, Hans, for getting me funded 200,000. I appreciate that. You don't know what you've done for me. And yeah, it's literally sticking to the rules. If you, let's say I want to sell, I wait, I stay patient, and it's been working wonders for me. And I'm at a trading level that I've never been in. And yeah, it's just sticking to your rules, and that those rules, it'll come over time, and you are the creator of those rules. So that's how I found consistency.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go ahead and take a quick little social exercise break. I just want y'all to say day 2. Everybody say day 2. Day 2.
Day 2.
Day 2.
That wasn't good enough.
Day
Bro.
2.
Nah.
Let's just say day 2.
Let's start over. Let's start over. Somebody say day 2.
Day 2.
Day 2.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Much better. Much better. All right, cool. That was great, guys. That was great. Okay. So anybody else wants to share so far what they've experienced? Alice?
I don't know what to say.
Really? Let me ask you a question, then you'll have an answer. What
Okay.
has been your most profitable pair that you've been trading?
I, I really never paid attention to it. I just trade whatever I got, whatever
Okay.
I get on US 30. Last week I found a setup on old USD, AUD USD, and there is GU and gold. But like last month it was GU. I traded a lot and US 30.
Okay. That's good. So what pairs do you feel like you struggle with the most? That always gets the answer. It's coming. Or what pair has given you the most headache?
Like all of them, because I'm still learning. So I'm trying to figure out some rules, some strategy I can apply on all of them, but I'm still my biggest problem is the rules. I'm not able to put some rules in place, so which makes me like kind of use different things when it comes to NDCs or currencies. Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
trying to write some rules, but I don't know from how to start. I don't even know what to start right.
That's good to know, actually. Thank you for that. So I guess you did know what to say. You had things to say. You just needed to figure it out. Now, guys, make no mistake, Alice, aka Uedra FX, is a phenomenal trader. In fact, some people were beginning to think she's lying when she says she just started trading under my mentorship. Why? Because a few months back, all we would see is straight profits from Alice. Whatever pair it was, she was just killing it. In fact, the market makers were starting to worry. So they sent out their best and most nastiest setups, which obviously slowed Alice down. And you can see she says, "Oh, I don't know this, I don't know that." But this is the part where as a trader, you realize that sometimes when you're in the lead, you got to slow down. And you got to be less reactive instead of just being always like what's the word I'll be looking for?
Impulsive.
Right, not just impulsive, but like before making too many entries or before making an execution.
Overtrading.
Yeah, you this is the part where like when you see that every time you get in a trade, it doesn't work out, you slow down and you become more selective. All right. And so you stop focusing on so many pairs and you focus on a higher time frame and you just narrow down your list. If you had 6 pairs that you kept on paying attention to, hey, I'm looking at too much. Let me bring it down to 1 or 2. Okay. Let me focus on one setup. Instead of trading this pair and that pair and that pair, let me add more positions to this profitable setup. So now you are focusing on what's going on to this and that. And now you already got kids, a husband, you got to cook, you got to sing at the choir. Your focus is on so many things. The last thing you want is focus on a whole bunch of pairs like the kids that you don't have, meaning the extra kids that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you feel like you have a toxic relationship with a couple trading pairs. It gives you grief. You go to sleep mad. You're not talking to the pair. You and that pair are not in talking terms. Does that not sound like a relationship? And sometimes the pairs bring out your toxic traits. Over trading, anger, right? Confrontational personalities. Why? Because I always notice, many of my colleagues will call the pair she. She's not doing this. She's not acting right. She doesn't want to listen. So in the last boot camp, I made sure we were very mindful when we say that we're now personifying the pair, right? So now we legit have a relationship with this individual, this pair, when it's really just economics. So sometimes when it comes to economics, they don't have to listen to you just like her or him. But make no mistake, that's not your child, and that is not your husband or wife or significant other. And we have to think logically about our decisions. Let's say you get in the first time and didn't work out. You get in the second time, the trade just keeps backfiring. Okay, before you get mad, hey, take an executive decision to not trade that pair until you understand what's going on. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I am so perfect and I follow all these rules. But over the years, I've caught myself and I quickly realized, whoa, uh-oh, I thought I was done with this side of me. It's showing up again. Oh, well, it's my money that I have to prioritize. I can't let myself get too emotionally involved with this market, or else I'm going to start making decisions like I just started. How many of you guys feel like you are a brand new trader whenever you make your mistakes on these charts? It could just be as simple as saying me or writing down me. There's a reason why you're in this boot camp. Okay, so some of you guys, it's not that you're not a good trader. It's just that you keep letting this market decide who you are or who you used to be. Or you feel like today is the day you need to make this money. So you're forcing a setup that's you thought was going to work, but it's just not working. So how many attempts should you try a trade before you give up? I say maximum 3 times. What about you guys? Okay, some people said 2 or 3. Some people said 3 times.
2 times.
Let me also do this. Can everybody hear me? Can all 18 of you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ski.
Yep.
Okay, good. If you guys are driving, say I'm driving. How many of you guys are driving?
I'm driving.
Okay. Who else is driving?
Wendy's driving.
Okay. That's cool. So, by the way, welcome back. I noticed some of you guys are just coming. I hope you had a great day. So, how many of you guys also experience analysis paralysis multiple times out of the week? Analysis paralysis is when you just can't bring yourself to hit buy or sell. How many times do you guys notice that you deal with this type of situation where you just feel fearful of what's going to happen, or you just feel hesitant as far as what's going to happen with these markets? All right. Now, if you are just starting, or maybe you're 2 years in, I can understand that. But when you're always facing this issue, then you have to start going back into the reason why you're being fearful. And I find that many times that most people are hesitant, including, I've seen myself do that too, is because one, the risk might be a little too much and it's not your high quality setup. Two, you got way too many checkpoints before you actually hit buy or sell. And three, you're not comfortable with the risk choice that you are using for that setup, because not every setup is a high quality setup. So now let's talk about another thing. Some of you guys, it's not that you have analysis paralysis. It's just that in order for you to manage the trade, there's so much for you to think about. Getting in the trade, the best entry, boom. Where to put the stop loss and why. Where the take profit should be. And when you are actually up in profit, when should you close? How much money should you close? So earlier today, my guy PJ had asked me a question. And he said, so I need to know when to take partials. For some of you guys who don't know what that is, closing partials in trading is when you are up a certain amount of money and maybe you were trading with $10, and then instead of closing the whole $10, you close $8 and let the rest $2 continue to move. Right? So that's called closing partials. And sometimes this happens a lot where you are in a trade and, for instance, today, many of us were trading today during core CPI. I actually didn't trade today. I was handling a whole bunch of things. But let's say you're in this trade and you're anticipating price to keep going. And you are up in a great deal of profit. And then this candle right here, shows itself to be bearish, but you thought price was just going to retrace. Let's say your entry was right here. At what point do you close partials? Do you take the trade? Do you close the full trade, or do you just let the market do its thing? Well, let me tell you something. First of all, whenever you're trading, you got to know either are you going for a select number of pips, or is your target an area where price has price is more than likely going to be heading there. And once it does get there, you need to have a plan. So sometimes this has happened to me. And I want to make sure that what I'm telling you is not just because I've not experienced it, right? Ideally, the best time to close partials is when you are very close to your profit or price is very close to the destination. I'll repeat, the best times to close partials is when price is very close to your destination or price is basically giving you the most of the profit that you anticipated to make. So it's like you were trying to make $1,000, right? You are up $600, $700, $800. That could be 1% for somebody's account. That could be 10% for somebody's account. You should not just keep letting this market run if you are especially trading intraday. By that time, you should be thinking about closing partials. The third time that you should be closing partials is when the market breaks structure. Because when price breaks structure, there's three ways the market moves, right? They can consolidate, they can break, or retest. So when the market breaks structure, it's going to have to retrace. So you don't want to be in all this profit right here when price breaks structure and not make a decision. Because the first time you get in the trade, that's your entry. The stop loss that you chose is a risk that you should have been comfortable with. Because anything can happen between point A and point A and a half before it gets to point B. But sometimes, as you guys can see here, this market was pretty clunky today. And there was even a time where price looked like they were just going to retrace and continue higher. But somehow they lost volume and they sold down towards the end of the session. And now it looks like price could be heading into a lower region from where they started this week or they ended last week. So the best way to close partials is to make a decision once price breaks structure or when price is near your target area or when price is closer to the pip range that you are anticipating. Now, this might be difficult for some of you guys to make these decisions quickly because the market is moving. You're trying to make a decision. The candle looks kind of shady. And so today, I have a big suggestion for you guys, and you will be getting a free gift from me. All right. So, how many of you guys are excited to get a free gift from me today? I know I am.
Yo, man, I'm super excited about that part. Let's
Of
go.
course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Mr. Fadden and Jerome. That's another PJ too. Fadden and Jerome. What's up, PJ? So, most of you guys don't lack anything, actually. It's just that the trading mindset and the steps that you have to really keep sharp about can be very intimidating, right? So some of y'all don't lack uh consistency or risk management. You just lack system, right? You lack a system-based way of trading, because sometimes you've been in pretty good profit, but you didn't get to close it in time. The market made that decision for you. Am I right? And by the time you try to make a decision, they've already changed the character on you. They've already swept the liquidity on you. So, how many of you guys believe in the laws of averages? How many of you guys have heard of something like that? The laws of averages. Let me write it down for you guys. The laws of averages. The laws of averages. Okay. So, I've asked a couple traders, because when I see that they're confused, frustrated, needed some type of system, and I'm like, okay, how? And I've even asked a few friends this question. I'm like, how many pips do you go for when you're trading? Some people are like, I don't know. I've not thought about that. Other people are like, well, I go for about 30 pips, 40 pips, 60 points, 90 points, whatever. Some people said, look, I don't really pay attention to the actual pips. I think about where price is going. Here's where the danger of this is. Even though price is going somewhere, who's to say price is going to be retracing sharply? Nobody knows. So then your mind, as we are watching this market move and the money's being made, the decisions that you need to make if price were to do something completely opposite, you were not ready for. You were not ready for. Or if you've never experienced this, you got to understand that sometimes as we are expecting price to do something, there might be a few hiccups on the road. And if you really want to be consistent, you have to have a consistent system. All right? A system, meaning on a day-to-day basis, I come here, I want to make this amount of money, or I seek to make this amount of money by catching this. What that helps with is, well, I'm going to explain to you what the system is. A system is a set of rules that you follow. All right? A system is a set of rules that you follow. So that means if you came here to make $2,000 every time, you need to know how to do that every time. That's how you be able to become consistent in doing it every time. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. You're not going to be too bothered, because if you know that this system works, when it works, you make this type of money every time. Does that make sense? You can't achieve consistency in an inconsistent market by not having a system. So even if you are trading and you do not have a specific take profit yet, because the market is moving and you can tell it can make it to this point here from point A to point B, you should at least know how much money you are looking to make when price make it at a certain area. So at least when you see the type of money that's profiting, you can be like, oh, you know what? Let me close partials, or let me close this money. And then you'll be able to become more profitable at keeping those rules. Okay. So, as my brother Lamel says, trust the process. Here's this thing I'm going to show you tonight. Is it only how much I want to win? Or is there something else to add? Follow me here. Keep the questions to a minimum. Take your time to listen before you ask the questions, because sometimes we might be too caught up in asking questions, and then we forget to see the solution that I'm trying to bring you guys. Okay. So on average, let's say you trade US 30, or on average, let's say you trade Euro USD. If you are an intraday trader, you should know how many pips that pair moves, or how many pips on average you usually see your profit. So if I were to ask you, Wendy, you said info for 500 pips, please. While we're at it, Wendy, how many pips do you usually go for when you're trading US 30?
I'm sorry, I was trying to type. I go for 500 pips a trade.
Okay, so that's 50 points, right? Right. So it's 50 points. So when she
You
says
said yes. I'll
yeah,
answer for her.
500 pips means that she's going, let's say she sees a great opportunity. She goes from 34,600 to 34,650. So, Wendy, when price is closer to that 50 point, what do you usually do to protect your capital? And how many pips and stop loss do you usually go for?
My stop loss is usually 200 or 20 to catch 50. And halfway, I'm setting my stop break even. When I have a saying, when in blue, it's on you. And
Ooh.
I'm gonna always take some blue. When in blue, it's on you. So I'm really, if of course we gotta pay attention to market structure, but with US 30, it can change, reverse at any time. If it looks like it may be reversing, I'm taking some blue. When in blue, it's on you. So
Yeah, I love it. Side note, when in blue, it's on you, shorty. All right. Okay. That sounds like a trader who has a system. And she knows at the bare minimum, this pair is going to give me 50 points on any given day. That's a system. She coming in, she knows how many pips she's going for. She knows what the stop loss is. And if something doesn't work out, she might try once, she might try twice. But as soon as she starts seeing that like it's not working, that's usually a telltale sign like, yeah, let me pull up later or tomorrow, depending on how much money that you already lost on that day. Good job. Anybody else? How many traders are in this webinar? Just two?
What was the question again? I apologize.
What is your usual trading plan? How many pips do you usually go for when you're trading?
I have a question for that. I personally don't target pips. I target like imbalances or areas of liquidity. And I wanted to ask you, am I wrong for that? Or is there a right or wrong answer?
Does it work for you?
Yes, sir. It's just the partial part.
Then you can't be wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? But on average,
But
if
I do know Price has like a daily pip range that usually certain pairs want to, give out.
It's called the ADR, average daily range.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but you can continue. I apologize.
No, don't apologize, bro. You are engaging in this conversation, which I
You gotta
appreciate.
understand that you answered your question. A lot of times, these problems or issues that we have, we be answering our questions. I want to point that out.
Right. So we have a trader here like PJ who says he doesn't usually go for a point-based system or pip-based system. He is seeing that price break structure, pulls back at the area of interest. He has his stop loss behind the order block. He's anticipating it to go to the next area of liquidity, area of order block, destination. But here's the problem, right? And this is the part that's wrong. If let's say you were risking $200 and your stop loss was like 12 pips, right? So you do, by the way, you do $200. That's your risk divided by 12 pips. That's the distance that you feel safest when you made this analysis. So now you got $16 that you can use, 1.6 lot size. You're anticipating the market to go to the next area of target. At any point out of this analysis or this plan, how much were you looking to make? At what point did you say to yourself, from there, I'm going to close this amount of money? Or even if you don't use a point-based
No.
system, hold on. Even if you don't use a point-based system, at how many pips are you going to make a decision? Is it when you see it that it's what's it called? You're about a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1? Like what is it that you think in between those moments where you're actually in profit, bro?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that assessment. So basically, yeah, once I'm up, I'm looking at percentages. So if I'm up like 1 or 2%, but then I think price may possibly go for this high or maybe get to this area of imbalance, then I'll make a decision. But personally, usually, sometimes when I'm trying to make that decision, price just may reverse and I'm already break even and price I end up not taking my profits that were on the table. So then I may beat myself up for it or just, sometimes I can get in that struggle.
I'm glad that we're having this conversation. You know, as a trader, if you're really looking to make the most money, even if you're letting the market play out according to structure, you can't let the market make all the decision for you. You need to know, like when I'm on my beast mode, bro, this is how I think to make this amount of money. I say, boom, one, I have to know my setup and what my setup is looking to do for me. I start out saying, okay, scenario number one, let's say price sweeps the liquidity of the previous day or the previous session. I need the confirmation. The confirmation is going to be a break and a retest. When price is retesting, I know that the distance between where it's retesting, which is the point of interest, is going to be somewhere in here where I'm going to get in and I'm going to put my stop loss behind me where price had just swept at. Now, I'm going to calculate where the stop loss will be and where it's the safest from where price had swept the liquidity, right? You ever seen you ever seen a flooded basement? All right, so we've seen price just swept and vacuumed the liquidity like a flooded basement. So now once price break structure retests, I get in. But just like Jaquel just said, she trades based on the percentage base. That's cool. So let's say your account, you're risking 0.5% of that account. So let's say the account is $1,000 and we're risking $50 on this trade. Let me move this thing closer to Yeah. Let's say we're risking $50, right? $50, but how many pips did I have to put behind me and distance as a stop loss? 40 points. All right. 50 divided by 40. It says US 30. $1.25. So we can put, let's say, $1 to work. Now, if you are like about 1% in profit, which is that $50 or that $70 that you see that you're up in profit, or maybe $100, at that point, you need to make a decision and say, hey, I'm up 1%. That 1% should be secured. But here's the problem sometimes. We want to see more. It's not that it's greed, but we can over anticipate certain things. And so you have issues closing profits because you never had a plan. Your plan was option A. Once price makes it to the destination, then you will close your profits. No. Along the way, you should be like, if price stops here, I'm going to close profits because it will break structure, pull back internally, then break structure again, pull all the way back sometimes. And then now we didn't make profit. We're in here to make money, bro. Guys, we are here to make money. So without holding you too much about what I've brought to the table, how many of you guys ever heard of a trade manager? Some of you guys tonight, this will be your first time hearing about something like this. Okay? A trade manager is an expert advisor where it helps to make those decisions for you. All right? So it is a file that can help you manage your money. So, in order for an expert manager to do its job, you have to have a strategy in your head that you want to automate. For instance, let's say we see that this market is going down and we know that price already retested it here. They turned this area into a resistance zone for now. And so we're like, okay, we want to take this trade because we can tell that this market is going down. Now, already you should start thinking to yourself, if you put your stop loss up here behind the resistance, that's about 50 pips. But for price to make it down this point right here to this area, that's about 25 pips or 30 pips, right? So because I've already figured out my stop loss could be around 50 pips, and that maybe by the time price make it down here for 20 pips, it'll get there and the take profit more than likely will hit. That is a system. That is a law of average of what could happen. So let's say I wanted to make this turn into a strategy where I don't have to think too much. Once I see the setup that I like, I automate on average how my stop loss to take profit is. So without wasting too much of your time, this is what I would do. This thing, this trade manager, gives you the ability to write your strategy in numbers. So I'm going to create one right in front of you guys, right? So on the left side, it says stop loss. Let's say on average, your stop loss is 30 pips on a trade. Okay, I'm also going to do the same thing for true stop loss. Why? Because this little thing right here is a big boss. It knows how to help you through trouble, and it helps you to think less. It helps to simplify your strategy. Okay, I hope you guys are excited about this because this could be a game changer for you guys, right? So if on average your scalp strategy or your intraday strategy is 30 or 20 pips, right? So you write 20 pips. You write the same thing for true take profit. Now you have the option to trail your trade or no. You can probably leave it just the way it is. Trailing means the market's your stop loss starts to follow behind the market so it can protect your trade. Right? So now over here, you can tell this thing to once it makes it to a number of pips, please break even for me. So you can tell it, hey, once you are in profit 12 pips, break even 5, lock in 5 for me. And then there's the partial close. So instead of PJ having to frustrate himself not knowing when to close partials, then he's going to go back and start thinking, hey, when price makes it to about halfway of the destination, maybe then I should start thinking about closing partials. So on average, you're going to go back and go focus on how many pips per usual when you see a setup it has the potential to run. So you can have an idea on when it is you should automate closing partials. And on top of that, you can actually say how much you needed to close in percentage, right? And how many pips you wanted to do that. So if I were to say once price makes it to 15 pips, please close 80% of this trade for me. Done. So now when I hit OK, it's ready. So I'm going to hit auto trading. And let me show you guys how this works. So I'm ready to get in this trade. And I see that it's selling. So I'm going to hit sell. I accept. All right. So I'm going to hit sell. Watch how this is going to automatically put the 30 pips in stop loss. What's going on here? Why is the trade manager still not on? Oh, I know why. I will tell you guys why. Let me go right here. Expert advisor, properties. This is why. Allow live trading. Perfect. Okay, everything still looks good. Making sure I turn on close partials. Yes. So boom. Did you guys see that? It already sets the stop loss that I wanted, which is 30 pips. And I even know how much money I might be losing if it goes to that 30 pips. And then the take profit right here, 20 pips, just like I said. And once this thing makes it to, remember what we said? We said once price makes it to 12 pips, please lock in 5. So the stop loss is going to move from 30 pips to 5 by itself. So you could literally, I don't know if you understand, you could literally walk away as soon as you hit buy or sell, and it will take over for you once you create your presets. When I say presets, I mean this is going to basically automate the options that you prepare for it. So once it's 15 pips in profit, PJ will not have to worry about when should I close partials. It's already going to do that for you. And you can already say how much in partials you want it to run. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a system. So now your job is to be able to figure out your system. So today I'm going to keep talking to you guys about certain presets that I've created. So on average, let's say Mr. Antoine, he trades Nas, right? Or Mr. Lamel also trades NASDAQ. And Miss Jaquel also trades NASDAQ. So what do we have here? We have commonality. But even if you are risky, even if Lamel or Antoine or Jaquel trade Nas, they all traded in their own way. if on average you're like, yo, $1,200 is how much I need to make every day. All right. You see price broke structure, swept the liquidity of the previous day. You're like, okay, I'm ready to make my decision. And by the way, even if you're not risking the percentage that you usually risk because this setup has already moved or whatever it is, you can still make a decision based on risk. So that means if you feel like risking $500 today is a little too much, you can still trade the setup if the setup still looks like it has a chance, a probability. Instead of risking 500, reduce the risk because you can still make some money regardless. So let's say you said, all right, my stop loss is 30 points. So then if you did not have a system or you didn't use to trade with a system, maybe it's time for you to consider trading with a system. Because if you need to make, let's say, $1,200 every time you trade, 3 times or 4 times a week, you need to know how many pips on average will give that to you. Because if you are trading somewhere, no problem, Gloria. If you are trading and you want to get somewhere, you need to know how you're going to get there. All right. So if on average you notice that you're well capable of catching, or you see that the pair that you trade can give you 60 points on any given day, and you're like, okay, how do I make $1,200 with 60 points? Looks like I would have to use $20. That's the first part. Now, what if this thing ran more than 60 points? Then you could probably get in again. But the point of this example is to show you guys how, if on average your stop loss and your take profit is 60 points, you can automate that. All right. So not only do you know every time you get in that trade, you're going to have to get in with maybe $20 or $15. You can feel free to put in the lot size, but you can automate the stop loss and take profit to a law of averages. Does that make sense, guys? So here's how you would do it. All right. If you are trading NASDAQ, you would just do this. As you can see, I have a template right here already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my indicator, and then I'm going to put the trade manager to work. So when it comes to indices, remember we said, as an example, 30 points, aka 300 pips. We would have to put 3,000. This is how the indicator, this is how the expert manager works with the contract size of these pairs. All right, you would have to put 3,000. It's going to give you 30 points stop loss. All right. So if on average your take profit that you want to catch is 65 points, you would have to put 6,500, 6,500, 6,500. And then now you get to manage the trade even more. So you would do this. Do you want this to trail? Maybe you don't want to, but that's fine. But this is where most of us have issues, right? When price starts moving and the market's just like, should I? Is it going to continue? And at that point, you're trying to figure out what the market is having the potential to do. And at the same time, you're trying to figure out when should you make those decisions. And then boom, the market pulls back nasty and then you lose everything. Or you by the time you make the decision, it was already a little too late and you closed out very small profit. So I realized that you could do this. You could have a break even. So let's say you tell this market, hey, once you start making that 40 points, I would have to put 4,000. Please break even at least 15 points. So then the stop loss moves from wherever it was, is going to jump and protect the trade 15 points and break even once it reaches 40 points. So now you don't have to think about when to move your stop loss into break even. Now it's a system. All right. So even if the market were to pull back, guess who already had your stop loss move to profit? You, right? And then you can also make it close partials and say, for instance, all right, once price starts making it to 50 points, we're 10 points away from the destination. All right, so let's have it close 70% of the trade, or let's have it close 90% of the trade. You hit okay. You can save it. That's how you turn it into a preset. So you can be like 30 PT, stop loss, 60 PT, take profit. And then you can call it NAS, whatever you want to call it, just so you can identify this set, right? When you hit OK. So let's say I get in this trade for a buy. Hit the buy. Oh, I just realized something. Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. Let me check something. I need to check the contract size. It's 1. So that means for $1 or half of a dollar, I can use this lot size instead. Okay. I can't use the 0.01 because it's too low. So what's going to happen here is it should show me my preset. See that? So now, whether I walk away and go handle my business, I've already protected my account by creating this preset. Why? Because I know how much I'm risking on average. All right, so we can see that this is 30-point stop loss, just like I said, and 65-point TP. Now I've automated this. No matter what happens, I have peace of mind. All right, so if you ever needed to be more consistent, this could be something that you can look into. And tonight, I'm going to make sure everybody has access to this file. Who's excited about something like this? One person. Okay. 3 people. 4 people.
Me too, me too.
Okay, 5 people. 6 people. 7 people.
Me too, me.
How do you guys feel about this idea? Because if you're looking for consistency, you have to be consistently doing something.
That is 1 to what, 4, I believe.
Whatever it is, bro.
Yeah, so anybody who knows ratio, 1 to 4, it's pretty good.
Right. But I was thinking about risking 30 to make 60. Right. So that sounds like a 1 or 2. All right. So Wendy says, I love it, but I have one already. But have you been using it, Wendy? Perfect. All
If
right.
you don't mind me asking, which one are you using? Oh, never heard of that. Interesting.
All right. So this is a good way to automate your strategy if you want to remain consistent. All right. Because if that's not something that is of interest to you, that's fine. Right. But this also brings the conversation on how would you become more consistent if a lot of your decisions are stuck within your thoughts? And by the time you make that decision, the market already made that decision for you. Okay. So this can help with analysis paralysis. It can help with hesitation on closing your trades. It can help with your issues with knowing when or where to see where your take profit is. So now it becomes a lot more seamless to automate your system. Okay. So this was one of the main topics I wanted to talk about. Moving on. Let me go ahead and close these trades. All right. So for those of you guys who are new, this might seem like a lot, but don't worry. I can teach you guys how to understand how to use a system like this. All right. So don't feel like you're intimidated and whatnot, or you feel like you way over your head. Be excited, because if I had something like this, it probably would have saved me a world of trouble and losses. So
Facts.
yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
what I was about to say. So yes. So today I'm going to teach you guys a few strategies to sharpen your edge, because remember, I had asked you guys what are some of your setups. Some people had just a few. So I want to make sure you understand a setup today that's going to help you along the way. All right. So how many of you guys are scalpers? How many of you guys are swing traders?
Zelensky could do both, but scalping is my specialty. The blade.
Okay, good, Zelensky. So some people might not even know when they should swing trade. So today I'm going to show you a swing trading setup that also can be a scalping setup on a smaller time frame, which also can be a intraday setup between the 9, the 10, and 11s, depending on if you see it. By the way, towards the near end of this webinar today, I will be asking some of you guys who are interested in getting access to the trade manager. I will be I do have your emails. Just let me know. All right. Reach out to me and I will definitely send it over to you on your email. But in order for this to work, it doesn't work on your phone. You have to have your laptop and you have to have a MetaTrader 4 terminal. Okay. So if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You'll get around to understanding these things. Okay. So, this setup right here just making sure I'm staying on schedule about some of the things we needed to talk about. Okay. I call it the Thursday, Friday, Monday strategy. Okay. I call it the Thursday. Something is wrong with this. There's a big delay that really gets on my nerves because, like, I've been pressed on this. I've been pressed on this T, right? Look at it. Now it's pulling up. All right. So this is called the Thursday, Friday, Monday strategy. Who's excited to know what the heck this is all about? It's like, where is this guy going with this? What is this? Y'all ready? Okay. I want to teach you guys this because this will definitely open your eyes to many, 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 many things. And I'm glad my brother Antoine is here. I thought other people would be here, but they weren't able to make it, which is fine. There's been times in my trading where I realized, just like Lamel has said, instead of just letting the trade or the markets show me the data, instead I went about trying to trade it and it smacked me. Or like Antoine likes to say, he's like, I get clapped and it discourages me when really this was the beginning of the setup. And this could have helped me follow up and understand what's going on. It wasn't really meant for me to trade. Okay. Some setups are meant for you to just let it happen so you can follow through, because the price might be giving you the first leg for you to understand, oh, okay, now I see what's going on. Like sometimes I only call out people who always reach out all the time. Alice would be like, Coach, I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, Alice, relax. Okay. First of all, if you don't see anything, then chances are we're going to have to wait for the break of structure. Because once I see that, meaning let's say the market is, we're selling. And then I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do here? What's going to happen from here? Right? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I've been clicked this thing. Oh my goodness. All right. So we came from this point, price retraced, made it to this demand zone, last Friday's lows, right? And then so we needed to see a break of structure. This first leg would tell me that, okay, we need to see it retrace for it to continue. But until I see the break of structure, I too am just like Alice, confused. I don't know yet. Price is not giving me the data. So with that being said, I've been following this for a long time. And I realized that sometimes price will give you all the secrets between Thursday to Monday or Thursday and Friday. And then Monday, you have exactly all you need to be able to swing trade, intraday trade, and have 4, 5, 6-figure days or months or weeks because of the setup. So who's ready to really understand how to elevate their strategy and their understanding? Because I need that energy. Y'all ready?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Somebody's horny. They can't wait to get this information anymore. I've built the
Chewy.
suspense too much.
Coach, I've been ready, bro. I've been
Good.
ready, man.
Good. Good.
Blue Chew.
Yeah, Blue Chew. Good. I got you where I want you. All right.
But listen, I've never used any trading anything because I've always had a problem with the signal. So if you can help me, let's go.
I got you, Fred. I got you, bro. When I tell you I got you, bro. So
When I
look,
say signal, I'm talking about internet signal. I'm talking about
oh, I
Okay.
can't help you there. I can't help you
That
there.
was-
I rescind my statement. I don't got you. Jesus got you. Your internet service clearly don't
Yes,
got
that's
you
gonna need
neither.
a lot of prayer, man. That's going to need a lot of prayer because
Oh,
I've
everybody
felt
gather
this
your
forever,
hands.
guys. Like always had a problem with internet.
Oh, you gotta move, brother. You gotta move. All right. So even my brother SB's been waiting on this strategy. All right, I've been teasing it all day, and I'm done teasing, guys. So look, sometimes we are trading at the end of the week, and this goes for Jaquel too. Let me see if she's still here. Okay, great. Still here. We come in and we are trying to catch our trades because we're swing traders. All right. Price buys. We're in great profit and we're waiting on our expectation, whether that's our percentage for the day, the money that we wanted to see for the day. And then price does some craziness because we thought price was bullish. You know, we have our bias, we have our, form of thoughts about the market. And then price does this, completely comes back and smacks you in the face. You try to take another trade. It doesn't want to move any further. And then the market closes for the week. And now you're defeated. Screw this market. Da 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 da. I don't even know if I should trade anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about. Whole time, price did something on Friday, which should have given you the information that's going to help you for the next week. Because it's just like when you're sewing something together. Okay, price, you need the needle, you need the thread. And if you thread it the right way, it's going to seam things together. If you catch my drift. So price likes to do this between Thursday to Friday. And then by Monday or Tuesday, you should know exactly what to expect for the week. All right. And I know some of you guys came here to know exactly what to do in certain scenarios. You needed to know how to think. So let me help you. So Thursday, price went and took out a high, what you might have thought is a higher high. If you catch price breaking back inside the range between Thursday to Friday after they went to take out the liquidity above the range, I guarantee you, once Sunday opens, mark the zones between Thursday to Friday and wait and see price pull all the way up to the previous area where they had just swept, and pay attention to where price had closed in the morning between 9 to 2 p.m. So let me go ahead and break this down, because on Sunday, Monday, they will retrace back into the zone. And if price is having a hard time, let me use this. If price is having a hard time going higher than the zone, then you got him. Because now, some people understand this as a failure swing high, right? But this is why it's important. Because now you can decide where to put your stop loss, right? And you can give this trade the whole entire session to keep moving. In fact, you can give this trade at least 12 hours. And it'll guarantee you the pips you need to succeed. I don't think y'all hear me. I've seen this setup happen so many times to the point where I don't care what pair it is, I will catch the setup every time. And this setup, if price comes back and retests it on a Tuesday and is still respecting the Monday or the Friday or the Thursday, those past previous days, if it does that on a Tuesday, then I know that price is going to be continuing the setup for 3 days. Sometimes that 3 day end up being the rest of the week. So now you got your swing trade set up. And so now, once we see that prices failing to swing higher on a Tuesday, typically because you're swing trading, right? Because you're swing trading. Now, you might refine the entry, Yeah. You could have like a very tight stop loss, but at least if price could not break past the high point from last week on a Tuesday, then that's the answer you were looking for. You need to rejoice because you finally got him. Okay? You know how somebody said the wrong thing and the feds was listening, the FBI was listening, CIA's like, all right, we got what we need. Roll out, boys. We got him. We freaking got him. Okay, so this is how I feel when I see the setup because I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, poor thing. You couldn't go higher than this? You know how a short person, hey, no disrespect. You know how a short person is trying to reach for something? It's, oh, you poor thing. Is this what you need? Oh, I got you, And then before you give it to him, you get a nice little kiss or something like that. I'm not talking about my wife or anything. Just randomly, right? So this is a setup that is high quality. And the reason why this setup is so powerful is because don't you just want to know that when price does something specific, it means bring in the lot sizes because we're about to make some money. I don't think you guys understand just as of yet what I mean by this. Right? This is what I mean. If you knew price was going to be doing something for 2 days or 3 days, doesn't that give you time to calculate how much money you can make from that setup? Yes or no?
Yeah.
If you knew price was going to be going somewhere for the next 12 to 16 hours, or 2 to 3 days, or 4 to 6 days, how does that make you feel? To know for sure. Not, maybe.
100 lot size.
I don't think maybe I'm not too aggressive about how I'm talking. I don't think you guys understand.
No, I'm gonna use 100 lot size, a bigger one, because I know this trade it's a win-win.
Be careful about your greed.
Calm down, Tiger.
Calm down. Relax.
I know
Oh,
it's
slow
a way
down.
of it's a
Slow
way
down,
of
Tiger.
talking.
Slow down.
Can I say something real quick?
Say something real quick.
Alice, I promise you that will be your last hurdle will be agreed. I
Yep.
promise you. That will be it.
Just
Yep.
thinking about doing winner takes all.
Right. So this is where the casino will be like, gotcha.
It's like it's my way of saying that it's because you're saying it's a confident trade, it's giving you all the signals that it's gonna go to your way. So I'm gonna use like a bigger lot size, not 100, but
Listen, you don't have to use a bigger lot size on the for sure trade. That's one thing I want to tell everybody right now. Because sometimes less is more. All right. So now I'm going to intensify my tonality because I want you guys to feel the power of what I'm telling you. How many of you guys have ever had a $5,000 day? How many of you guys have ever had a $10,000 day? How many of you guys have ever had a bonus at your job? How many of you guys want to have your first 6-figure day in life? How many of you guys?
Oh my gosh. Listen, you got me dreaming wide open.
I knew the intensity was going to catch it. How many of you guys want to have your first $500 day without clocking in anywhere? Where are you guys? Where are those people that I'm talking to?
Me. I can talk now.
never.
Guys,
I wish to get it.
I am here.
there's no wishing.
Can I say something again? I
Hold
want
on.
to say
This
this.
is my moment now.
Yeah, have it.
Listen, you're looking at a person who's had those days. And I'm telling you because I've seen them. And I haven't had a few others, but trust and believe. Adding this one to my arsenal is a dangerous piece of information. I've practiced it. I've done it for a couple clients.
Man, let's do that.
And this setup can actually be a 7-figure day setup.
Wow.
I just need the right capital because not every broker can handle certain types of profits.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into those politics. So now you guys see where I'm headed with this. Day one was, hey, no, we have weaknesses and strengths. Oh, la, la, la. When we said we kumbaya. Today, I came with the business. I'm not sure if you guys understood.
Oh, man, you messed me up. I was still at work, man.
Yeah. I ain't come here to play today. So listen, Mel, before you forget what you're about to say, go ahead, bro. Melly Mel.
I forgot to unmute myself. I was talking to myself. I just dropped the quote because I hear it all the time. A lot of people say, I hope and faith and whatnot. It's all good to have hope and faith, but without execution, there's nothing. Execution is everything. Faith and hope, but you need execution.
Listen.
In other words, execution mentality. In the words of
Execution mentality. Yes, sir. And you know there's a Bible verse that says faith without what?
Works.
Is what?
Works.
Faith without works is dead.
In other words, proper preparation prevents poor performance.
I want you guys to listen to this.
They say our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. They say our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I say I'm done being afraid. I was holding me back this whole time. It's time to unleash.
Did you guys hear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We are powerful beyond measures.
Yes.
It's time to unleash. It is time to unleash. Do you see that? Do you see that line behind me?
Yes. The Lion of Judah.
Do you see what's coming out of the lion's mouth?
Yeah.
There's no tic-tac in this world that can stop the fire from coming out of that lion's mouth.
Yes. I didn't even see it. I already proclaimed it. The Lion of Judah.
Listen, when
that was the lion behind you. That was behind you.
Yeah, it's been behind me.
Make it bigger. I didn't even see it.
It's been
I'm like the Lion of Judah all the way.
Look,
we're blessed, man.
What else is behind me? You know what else is behind me?
Yeah, it looks like
through Christ. Oh, okay. I can do all things through Christ. That's strengthened.
No,
not that.
You didn't see it.
Ooh, strengthens me.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. I see that now.
I can.
Philippians 4:13. You guys are getting me excited, man. My goodness.
Preach, Pastor.
So, did it say little things, some things? Nah, all things. All things. So, let's get back into it. I know what's behind me. I know what's behind me, and I know who's with me. And I want to think that you guys are with me, right?
Definitely. Listen, can I add a suggestion?
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Like when we start, can we start with a prayer and end with a prayer as well? That would be great.
Usually in my boot camps, I do that. But as you guys, I'm not sure if you noticed, but before I started, my eyes were closed for a good minute.
Oh,
I prayed over you guys, and I prayed so that God can make me impact just one life. I don't need everybody's life to be impacted.
wow.
Just one
Amen.
life. If it's just one life, I could ask God to let
Amen.
me do my word.
Amen.
Just
Amen
one.
to that.
If more than one, Lord, I've overachieved.
You've accomplished it.
All right. So on the third day, I usually have a prayer. Okay. So
Thank you.
so let me tell you guys this. You are battling a lot. And some of our worst fears and our worst nature comes out when we're trading because we figure out so much about ourselves. Trust me, I've been there. Right? But through the calmness of the confidence that you can gain when you know what you can literally get out of certain situations in 1 week, in 1 month, in a few months, right? So let me show you guys how many times I've seen the setup, and you tell me if it works. Okay? So for my swing traders, you need to be careful because even if you can see prices buying sometimes, they really could just be buying and taking out the liquidity of the previous month. So then when that happens, then price is going to be selling for a month. You don't have to hold on to that swing sometimes. You can close out certain positions and then just keep following up. All right. So let's start with let's not go too far. Let's start with July. Price came from last month in June 16th, the middle of the month. All right. Right here. What's going on? Option V. And then so on Friday and Thursday of July 13th, what do we notice, guys? Thursday, price made it to this high and could not go higher. Friday, 5 a.m., same thing. So look how Monday and Tuesday, price could not breach higher. What did they do? They sold for 16 hours for about 65 pips. Okay. And then Wednesday again, Thursday, July 20th, price came back to make a lower high. Friday, price sold. Monday and Tuesday, we couldn't go any higher. Thursday, we got Thursday, we got Friday, and we got Monday. So what does this say? You can have all the data you need after price swept a liquidity at the top or price came in and bounced at a resistance, a ceiling, and then you can literally just wait and pull up the next week to see how price is unfolding, how price is behaving. But you have your 4 days. You have the Thursday, Friday, Monday, or Tuesday. Within those days, you can literally come in and see price break, retest. If at the beginning of the week, price just for some reason cannot break above Friday or Thursday, then you have enough time to attempt your trades. And you have enough time to let this thing do what it needs to do. This was AUD USD. By Monday in the afternoon, we see that till that very moment, we have 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., still nothing. Okay, great. That's all we needed. We needed to know that it cannot go past this point after the New York session, especially. So now that you have what you need, you can decide to put your stop loss maybe on a minimum 15 to 20 or higher, 20 pips in distance. I would prefer 25 pips until price starts selling. So you can give it enough breathing room, enough distance. Because sometimes after New York session, the spreads open up, da 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 da. You know, they might catch you. You don't want them to catch you. So you put a stop loss that's far enough away. Sometimes some people don't even put a stop loss. They're just waiting to see what happens. Right? But from what I've observed, those days are very, very, very important. So let's say you did take a loss because you were anticipating something, but if they break and retest between the Thursday to Monday and Tuesday, and they just can't break it, we got them. Okay? So look what happened not too long ago. All right. We got Friday, August the 4th. Then you got Monday, and price came back Tuesday, right? Turned down into Thursday again. But guess what? Price went and swept the liquidity, and they just could not go past the zone. Since the US dollar is already bullish, this was a dead giveaway. Here it is again. Price comes here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Breaks, retests by Monday. Okay, we take the trade, put a stop loss above. We attempt, we give the trade at least 12 to 16 hours. I guarantee you're going to make money between that window. Okay. So because you're giving it hours instead of just pips, you got to be mindful how much pips price is moving within that 12-hour range. Within the first 12-hour range, you should start making decisions about closing partials. Second, Friday, Monday. This was just recently. And yes, you can see it on different time frames. Look. Price came in, retesting the previous week's highs. Oh, it's Monday, and here's what's going on. We got 8, 10, 12. By 12 p.m., between 9:30 to 12 p.m., if this you notice that they're having trouble actually going above the last week's highs, then you should already start preparing yourself for the swing trade. In this case, this could have been 9 pip stop loss. Give it 12 hours. I guarantee you're going to make some money. Right? Now, what happens if price takes you out? Or what happens if you just don't feel too confident about the setup? This is the important part. You can actually show up and follow up in the next session like London. This is what you need to anticipate out of London. You need to see that price is still struggling to go above the previous day, the previous session's highs. You want to see price break and retest and still having trouble. That's the only way you can attempt to take that trade again if something happened to you or if price retested again. Okay. Now, I'm about to show this setup to you on gold. Somebody said NASDAQ. So sometimes what's going to happen with, like, let's say the indices is that the setup might happen at the bottom. Sometimes it happens at the top too. Depends on what's going on. So look, this this thing is slowing down on me. All right. So price came here. We thought it was buying on the 1st of September. Then price broke structure Friday. In the beginning, Sunday, Monday, they respected the zone. What did they do? They dropped. They dropped for about 16 hours. This is Nas. No, you should not use the setup when there's news. But what you need to know is like, as long as price is respecting it, then you have no issues. So this is what it usually does, right? Monday, it does that, right? Let's say price retraces Tuesday. If they retrace Tuesday, this is a break and retest within the same week. They're gonna go further. And this is how you can literally swing NASDAQ for 2 days and catch all of this. Let me show it to you again. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So price will close out from a Friday low if it's buying, right? And they might retest that. Sometimes they might not give it to you because it's not always the same situation. But look, this was Thursday, right? By Monday, price still sold off of last week's highs. Now, because this was a change of structure, they continued buying higher. So you have to be careful, because I remember when I used to do this, right? Somebody teaches me a new thing and you want to apply it everywhere. It doesn't always work that way. Okay, so you got to be careful. So look, this was in August. Price was already selling. And we can see that price from Thursday to Friday. Sunday opens up. Boom. They buy back. By Monday in the evening, we see that price is still testing last week, Thursday's highs, and just having a hard time breaking. At that point, you got to make your decision. Monday, they couldn't do much. Tuesday, they couldn't break further. That should already tell you what you need. At that point, you got to make your decision. No doubts. Ooh, that August 18 must mean something to Antoine. Right? In this whole entire session, many of us, what happened?
Oh, wait. Oh, that's my analysis I did too.
I planned on trading AU at 9:30, but unfortunately, I have an interview with a trader out in Nigeria that I have to interview, so I won't be able to trade it. Actually, no. At 9:30, I have a meeting with a few other traders who manage an academy, so I won't be able to trade it. But I will say, we'll get back into AU in a second. But look, do you ever pull up on a Monday or Tuesday trying to trade a setup and they're just consolidating like crazy? And then you turn into Antoine. Hey, bro, oh my God, bro, the market's not going anywhere, man. Like, oh, That was a good impersonation, right? Everybody's getting clapped. Could you show us this right now on TradingView? Show us what right now? So, while Rosalie is going to be answering, no, what did you mean by right now? What can you show? I just want to know. You don't have to apologize. I just need to know what you mean so I can understand. So, by Tuesday, if price is having a hard time breaking above last week's highs, and by the way, sometimes you're looking at order blocks the wrong way, guys. You need, whenever you're trading, let's say, it doesn't matter if you're trading for forex pairs or indices. When you're looking at the previous week, make sure you pay attention to the time, 9:30 to 10, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. because that's where the bulk of the money is at. This is where the order blocks were formed. So imagine you just waiting for price to make it into the order block, and it just never does. Remember what I said. If you look to your left and you see between 9 to 11 or 12:30 to 2 p.m. and you see that price reacted in that area, yeah, by Tuesday, if they can't break it, yeah, laws of averages and probabilities. Put your stop loss above, choose your risk, and give the market time to let you know what's up. Okay? Give the market time to let you know what's up. Let me check the chat real quick. I thought it was not on actual TradingView. Okay. All right. So, let me show you
through
guys.
the chat and look at if there's any questions I can answer.
Yeah, I see it. I see it, bro. By the way, we're gonna be closing in the next 5 minutes. All right. Tomorrow I will explain more things and I will assign you guys homework to go and look for this setup that I was explaining tonight. All right. So look, what happened this week with Nas? Same thing. We came from September the 6th, this order block right here. Then we got Monday, September 11th, price broke, retested. On Tuesday, right? By the time price broke and retested again, you already knew where to put your stop loss, at least above this point. But of course, when price was moving, it was very, very volatile. You had to already been ready to know which points you would want to put your stop loss. And this was Tuesday the 12th, right? That was when me and Mel, I think it was that was around that time. Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah. No. Wait.
Wait, today is, my days is messed up.
Yeah,
Trading.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, the setup was clear, but y'all tried to take buys. I remember SEAL Team 6 chat was trying to take buys, right? Because
I was the only one that said I'm going for sells, but I
right,
didn't take it. But I wound up taking buys because I was waiting for the retrace and it wasn't happening.
right. So the point is, once you get your Thursday, your Monday, and your Tuesday, and you see prices having a hard time going past the point, even if it's at the bottom, you got what you need. All right. The same thing here. Price came here on Friday, broke structure. Sunday, Monday, take your chance. All right. Now, this is a poor quality setup, but this is why, today, one of the biggest things I wanted to see from the indices was price when news came to sweep last Friday's lows. And I kid you not, if I wasn't worrying about making sure my softwares were working like they should, I really would have taken this trade. This was my ideal trade for either US 30 or NAS because by 10, we already had a break and retest, and you could have taken this buy here. How many of you guys took a buy on NAS today and profited?
I did.
Good. Congratulations. All right. So this setup right here, guys, you will find it everywhere. Everywhere. But unfortunately, I don't have too much more time to explain it more. But tomorrow, I promise you, I will keep going further into this setup, and we will talk about fundamentals because a lot of you guys don't know enough fundamentals. So I will tell you some of the setups that align with fundamentals, what you should expect out of fundamental news. I'm going to teach you about some of those news that you might have not really paid attention to. And I'll tell y'all what I noticed has happened time and time again for you to be prepared for news or to just let it alone to collect data, to collect information. And I will explain to you tomorrow why it's important to collect information. And sometimes certain days are not for you to trade, but it is for you to gather information to follow up. So, how was tonight's webinar, guys?
It was great.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. It was good. I was listening to you, and I did my geo analysis too. So
Perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Perfect.
Awesome, awesome.
By tomorrow, I will be sending you guys your trade manager EA. All right.
That
But
was great, man. Very good.
thank you. There was one more question that somebody had asked me, and it was PJ. He said, "Can you be wrong and still be right?" And I said, I actually will break this down. So I'm going to give it these last 2 minutes just to explain to somebody. Can you be wrong and still be right? Or can you be right and still be wrong with a trade? One, being wrong is actually subjective. Please don't write on my screen. We don't even have much time left. All right. So, you can be wrong on the charts and still be right because being wrong sometimes is the cost for you to have figured out that this is not something that you were prepared at first to lose. But hey, we just noticed that because your stop loss was hit, maybe the trade is invalid. Or maybe the liquidity got swept or you got taken out, but now they broke structure in an hour and a half and pulled back again and respecting the zone. So guess what? You have an opportunity in front of you. So you can be wrong and still be right by following up after the trade to see what happened. So being wrong is not always a bad thing because a lot of hedge funds, a lot of big institutions, they send out money just to collect data because they realize that the market makers could change the direction against them and they'll just quickly close their trade and hedge against their positions. All right. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. So I wanted to leave that answer for you, bro, just for this webinar because don't worry too much about being wrong. Worry more about the risk. Yesterday, I got a chance to see my brother Lamel trade right next to me, and he did something. And I was like, bro, you weren't ready to take that trade because you were waiting for different confirmations. But at the same time, you could have used a smaller risk to take the trade regardless. But a lot of times we are very much caught up in not wanting to be wrong that it keeps us from making this the executive decision to take a trade, which causes analysis paralysis. So I say feel the fear and do it anyway with the right risk. Okay. In order for you
especially a
to
bias.
battle, yes, in order for you to battle analysis paralysis, you got to fuck around and actually find out. You got to still take the risk because it's two things that's going to happen. It's either you profit or either the stop loss gets hit. And even if it's a high quality trade, those are still the same parameters that you have to figure out. So sometimes you just got to take the trade. If you're not ready for it, fine. If you're not ready to take the loss, fine. But if your conditions are right in front of you, choose the risk. Either it's a low risk, a medium risk, or you trade according to the setup that you have studied. All right. And lastly, my brother Sebastian, I had a chance to trade with him today. I did not take no trades, but I got a chance to watch him trade. And he usually tells me to close partials. And sometimes I tell him, yo, I don't close partials for this and that reason. Only when this and that happens, I'll close partials. But today it was my turn to make sure he closed partials before news. And one of the best things you got to do is understand that closing partials is a gift. Seeing the money in real time is an opportunity and a blessing. But what happens next when you're anticipating news to drop could either be a curse, a regret, or poor decision making. What do I mean by that? Before news drop, we have no idea how things are going to play out. But before news drop, if you also were in profit, you have a responsibility. The responsibility is this. It might come with slight regret because we always want to see more. The responsibility is to close the profit that you see because there's no guarantees what's going to happen later. Best to close your profit and get back in when the conditions are good. Instead, to see the whole trade gets lost, the profits are literally obliterated. And on top of that, your stop loss becomes way more than what it was. You lose twice when you didn't close partials and you didn't close you didn't close partials before news, because whatever happens with news is extra bread, extra money. Unless you walked away from the charts and you didn't even have to see what happens, all you would have known is what? The risk that you took. So when news is about to come, guys, it's either you were prepared to lose it all, or if you were already in profit, it's better to close some partials, move your stop loss, or just marry the risk entirely. There is no in between. All right. So if you feel some type of way about a potential danger that might happen, where the market takes away your profits right when news hits, if you have the chance of securing some money before the news drop, please do yourself that favor. It's better to regret that you could have made more than to regret that you could have secured your money. All right. And with that being said, guys, have a great night. I wanted to drop this extra piece of information because I know this is being recorded and you guys can watch over and over. And for those who were asking and saying, hey, is it recorded? Where can I find it? Is everybody in this chat?
I am here.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
I dropped the recordings right here in this 3-day bootcamp psychology chat. I'm going to upload it to YouTube and select unlisted so nobody else can see it, but then I'll drop the link here. So be on the lookout for this link. Yesterday's bootcamp recording is available right here for you guys to watch. Make sure you are seeing the conversations that I'm dropping here, because I've already dropped the preset and I'm going to be dropping wrong one. The trade manager. So the trade manager file, I'm going to drop it in there as well. And tomorrow I will teach you guys how to use the preset, how to create a preset one more time for those of you guys who've never used something like this before. All right. So bootcamp day 2. I knew today was going to require all the time in the world. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys time to talk, but I had to make sure I cut it down to a bare minimum so we can dive into a lot of these topics that we want to talk about. I believe that I covered everything that I needed to talk about today. So tomorrow is going to be a continuation, and then we're going to keep the schedule So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And I'll see you next time tomorrow. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Y'all have a good
Thank
night.
you so much. Listen, coach,
Thank you so
man,
much.
you're becoming
Have a
my
good night
favorite, man.
also.
You are becoming my favorite, bro. Straight up.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.